Reservoir near Jasper, Texas, commonly called Big Sam, a star in the Lone Star State for bass anglers. This 114,500-acre impoundment is prime largemouth bass fishing territory. 309 anglers here for the $195,000 Bassmaster Texas Invitational are anxious to get their lures in the water. Big Sam has a reputation for big bass. The Bass Angler Sportsman Society's Tournament Trail Record Book features numerous Sam Rayburn highlights. March 1991, Jim Nolan weighs in 86 pounds with 20 bass, a record for a Bassmaster BP Top 100. March of 92, Shaw Grigsby scores 62 pounds 8 ounces, wins the Texas Invitational. And in that same tournament, Kevin Van Dam weighs in the largest 5 bass catch in BASS history, 31 pounds 11 ounces. March 1993, Randy Dearman sets a record 67 pounds 13 ounces with 15 bass for a 5 bass daily limit Bassmaster tournament. Those were big moments, big catches, all from Big Sam. And the beat goes on. This Texas Invitational may well erase all the Bassmaster Tournament Trail heavyweight records. The time is late February, pre-spawn, about 3 weeks earlier than previous BASS competitions here. Bass are staging in groups in holding areas, preparing to move into the shallow water spawning coves. The surface water temperature has reached the mid-50s, pushed up by recent warm rains. However, a cold front is headed toward East Texas. The lake level is on the rise. This morning, the problem is wind, 15 to 25 miles per hour out of the northwest. From the Twin Dykes Marina headquarters near the dam, that translates into a back-wrenching boat ride. Reaching the Highway 147 area where Jim Nolan of Arkansas caught his 86-pound record will be a thrill ride. Many contestants opt to fish closer in the coves and flats surrounding Mill Creek Park and the San Augustine Park areas. Here, the bass are moving into the 5 to 7 foot deep grass beds, feeding up and waiting for the water temperature to climb into the magic 62 to 65 degree range that triggers the spawning urge. A recent warm spell had some largemouths headed to the shallows, but a cold snap dropped water temperatures. North Carolina pro Guy Akers Sr. is fishing this pre-spawn pattern. He's hooked up with a big fish and may need help from partner Marshall Deacons of Tennessee to land this one. Nets are not permitted in BASS competition, and grabbing a bass with a face full of treble hooks can be tricky.
Right. Good leg. I told you to catch 8 pounder on that.
I've been catching a lot of fish on a half ounce, and I decided to go to a big one, try to catch a bigger fish. I went to 3/4, and there's what I caught. Thank the good Lord for that one. What I'm doing is looking for pockets like we're in right here. The grass is about 5 foot high, and I'm taking it and running it right over top of it, trying to slow it down enough to where it'll clip the top of the grass. Man alive, beautiful.
Guy's using a lipless crankbait, the 3/4 ounce rattle trap over the submerged grass. His line size is a key to his technique.
And I'm using the Magnathin, which I can use 20-pound test line that's Magnathin. It's about the same size as 16. And the reason I'm using big line helps hold this bait up off the top of the grass. A lot of people throwing like 12-pound test line, the bait's diving in the grass all the time. Well, you can take 20-pound, and the line's heavy, so you don't have to crank it as fast, and you wind it right over top of that grass. Click top of that grass.
The lipless crankbait is a favorite for fishing the submerged grass beds. learning to control the speed of retrieve to keep the lure ticking the top of the grass, then jerking it free when it fouls in the weeds, often triggers a bass to strike. The neon orange lure color is important too, as Guy Aker explains.
Well, another secret too, I think, this bait, this is sort of an orange looking bait, and it's got a little bitty brown back on it. I think the crawfish this time of year that I've seen had a lot of orange on them and brown on their back. You know, people don't realize, but the moon phase, and this is a full moon, the fish change during the fish will change, the crawfish will change colors. There'll be like a light green and a sort of a pearl looking on their belly. Then when the moon gets full, they'll start turning to orange and brown. Then they'll get black, blue, and black and red. And I think that's the reason a lot of fish here like red, because there's more crawfish in this lake red than any lake I've ever seen.
Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back with the day one weigh-in of the $195,000 Texas Invitational from Sam Rayburn Reservoir, the home of Bassmaster Tournament Trail record makers. Weather, the high winds made it a tough fishing day on Sam Rayburn and a long boat ride back. But the day one weights at the Bassmaster Texas Invitational will no doubt ease the strain and pain. Lindell Martin Jr. of Texas, with a 5 bass limit of 21 pounds 10 ounces, sets the stage. He takes the early lead. Local pro Jay Yellis of Jasper, the top-ranked angler on the BASS Trail, ties things up at 21 pounds 10 ounces, and he's optimistic.
I caught all these fish in an area where I never saw another contestant, so hopefully things will hang out that way the rest of the week, and there's plenty of fish left in there. I caught all these fish in one pass through this area, and I fished it about an hour and I left, and there should be enough for the next 2 days.
Good weight, but not enough today.
Jack Haynes, watch out now. Look out now. Look out. 22 pounds, 6 ounces, that's your new leader right here. Boy, well, hold
Jack
up.
Haynes grabs the lead, but here comes Robert Tucker of Texas with a big load. He may need help getting this bag on the scales.
Smiley Robert, folks. Watch his face light up. 25 pounds, 26 pounds. Bingo! Pull up, pick up 2 big ones. Holy smokes. Can y'all believe this?
At this pace, Robert Tucker is after a new tournament trail record. His 26 pounds gives him a 3-pound, 10-ounce lead over Jack Haynes of Louisiana, followed by Lindell Martin and Jay Yellis. And in 5th place, Ron Shuffield of Arkansas. The top 8 leaders post 20-pound bags.
Yeah, what lure are you using? Yeah, everybody knows anyway. Tell the people out here that came to see it.
I'm throwing a big crankbait, ain't no secret.
Big fat crankbait.
You got it?
What color?
I ain't saying.
All right.
Day 2, bright, clear skies. The front passes. Temperatures overnight dip into the low 30s, but the Sam Rayburn surface temperature holds near 54 degrees. Tournament leader Robert Tucker returns to his fishing spot, up lake near the Highway 147 crossing. Tucker's fishing a pre-spawn area located about 600 yards south of Jim Nolan's hole, where the 86-pound catch came in 1991.
This is probably one of my most confident areas I have on the hole. There's one right there. He's a big one, too. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. He's a nice one. That's about the littlest fish I caught here yesterday.
Ron Shuffield, in 5th place, is fishing the Tiger Creek area northeast of the weigh-in site. He won the BASS Top 100 on Rayburn in June 1989, but the seasonal pattern is different now.
Mostly I'm catching most of them on a number 7 shad wrap, gold in color, 8-pound test line, spinning rod, fishing it just real slow and subtle. Once I get it down, just keeping a slow, steady retrieve. And I'm just catching the fish out in front of the bushes, actually on that little stretch of barren water that doesn't have any grass on it. They're along the inside grass line, but they're really kind of facing towards the bank.
Robert Tucker and partner Jimmy Houston of Oklahoma are fishing a textbook pre-spawn structure spot, an underwater point where the creek channels join.
What we got out here is on this end, we've got a long tapering point. Just got very, very little grass. but it's got about, there must be 500 stumps on it. They're real short though. They're cut off almost to the ground. And I feel like a lot of these fish spawn. This is the shallowest end. I'm only in 10, but right out here behind us, we got real deep water. The reason I moved in shallow here because I can get it right up on the hump itself. I've caught numerous 8-pound fish in this area. The biggest one I've ever caught here is 10.5 in this area right here. Get down, you motherfucker, get down.
That'll work. That's a 2-pounder you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a 2-pounder, 2.5-pounder I look for.
Ron Sheffield is sticking with his crawdad-colored crankbait and slow retrieve.
Run at the boat. I don't know. Boy, Joker nailed it. I think it's a keeper. Oh, yeah. Barely hooked.
Tournament leader Robert Tucker still has faith in his deep-diving Pose 300 crankbait, but he's changed areas.
Will you help me here, Jimmy? Thank you, buddy. Thanks very much.
Robert Tucker's in the last flight of boats, so he still has time and other areas to fish. But for Ron Sheffield, the hunt ends for day 2.
Sheffield's in 5th place, and the weight hitting the scales. And watch the scales closely, folks. 17 pounds, 13 ounces. Let's give him a nice hand. That puts him clearly in the lead, no question about it. And the reason, pick up this big mama. This is the reason, folks. You got to have a limit, but you got to have 1 or 2 of these.
Ron Sheffield moves atop the leaderboard with 39 pounds, 5 ounces. But here comes a bag that may erase the all-time 5 bass record.
Now, once again, the all-time record. Listen, folks, 31.11. This is Jerry Ryan, folks. Had 8 pounds, 11 ounces yesterday. This is history in the making. Watch the scale. Let it down easy now. 31 pounds and 1 ounce. Not quite, but so close, people. Second all-time record. I want you to look at the fish. Look at these. He's shaking it again. Look at these. Let me help you. Take the pictures. Let's put these fish right back. Let's weigh both of them. Weigh the big one first. The weight, 11 pounds and 9 ounces. There we go. Boom.
I fished 3 practice days real hard and didn't find anything. And so then I says, well, I sure hope I draw a good partner. And I did. And he didn't miss a fish. He grabbed him by the lip each time. But when I went up there, he said there were big fish there. And I said, well, he was going to throw a lizard. So I'm just interested in trying to catch a limit of fish. So I put on a Zoom centipede, little 4-inch centipede. And I said, well, I'm going to fish a little fish bait. And the first fish I caught was at 9, 10, whatever it was. Second fish I caught was at 11, 9.
What was he saying all the time this is happening?
Damn little fish bait.
Let's give a great hand, folks. He's your new leader, no question about it. All right. Jerry Ryan. What a day.
That near-record catch moves Jerry Ryan into the lead and puts the pressure on yesterday's leader, Robert Tucker.
Smiling Robert has 5 bass today, and the scale, 17 pounds and 3 ounces, takes him back in the lead. Robert Tucker just taking over the lead. Reach in, Tucker.
Robert Tucker stays on top the leaderboard, but the day 2 standings take a big shuffle. Jerry Ryan is second, 3 pounds, 7 ounces behind, and followed closely by Ron Sheffield. Denny Brower of Missouri climbs to 4th with a 24-pound, 8-ounce creel today. Guy Akers Sr. moves to 5th, but still trails by over 6 pounds. Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back with final round action in the $195,000 Bassmaster Texas Invitational from Big Sam, Rayburn Reservoir. Final round of the Bassmaster Texas Invitational. Bluebird skies. The second day following a cold front usually means tough fishing. But tournament leader Robert Tucker is still smiling.
Even though I hadn't had a bite. That's one thing about Sam Rayburn. It don't take but minutes when you hit them right. You can have you a 20-pound bag and 5 casts. I'm gonna go have, there we go, right there.
Here we go, here we go.
Okay. Gotta come on.
Hey, Robert, that's bass tournament fishing, where a lost fish can cost an angler thousands of dollars. For Robert Tucker, there's $35,000 to win or lose. Yesterday, a hero. Today, Smilin' Robert is struggling to catch a 14-inch keeper bass.
Where's Mama at? You know, you're a hero one day and you're zero the next, but, you know, that's bass fishing, you know. I went out there today and I stayed on my same stuff, and I had a chance to catch one 3-pounder, and he come up there and spit out my plug like it's a piece of bubble gum. But I wasn't too worried. I was early, and, well, I hadn't caught one under 3 pounds all week, and I caught 3 others today. They was about 12 and 13 inches.
The Day 3 final weigh-in is full of surprises. The top 4 leaders, Robert Tucker, Jerry Ryan, Ron Sheffield, and Denny Brower, all slip.
This is Guy Akers, Sr. of North Carolina, folks. He's in 5th place with 36 pounds and 15 ounces, and today's weight, 12 pounds and 1 ounce. And folks, this will put him in the lead. He has never won. He's been so close. Pick up a couple of these fish. They're not giants. They're all good, solid keepers. This puts him in the lead. He has never in all his years won a tournament. He's been very close, been to the Classic over and over again, but never took home the victor's crown.
After 14 years on the BASS tournament trail, Guy Akers Sr. lands the big one. He wins the Texas Invitational with 15 bass and 49 pounds. Tommy Biffle of Oklahoma charges from 14th to 2nd, only 13 ounces out of 1st. Denny Brower finishes 3rd, followed by Ron Sheffield. Robert Tucker, the 2-day leader, ends up in 8th place.
What I want to do is win a national bass tournament, and I've done it. And as the good Lord's willing, I'm going to fish as long as they'll let me. I told Charlie Engel I might fish till I'm 60 years old. He said, I know how long you'll fish till you're 6 foot under. But I love it.
Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back with Texas Invitational champion Guy Akers' pros pointer and winning technique. Right now, it's time for the pros pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters. Brought to you by Wrangler, the most comfortable jeans known to man.
Now, this is the lure that I won the tournament on. And some of the secrets using this lure, I think, was why I won it. I was using 20-pound test line, and people said, why such a big line in open water? Well, what I was doing, the big line helps hold the lure up so I could wind it real slow. Other people was using like 12-pound test line. They was down in it, ripping it out. And I found this out 4 years ago. You can fish little bitty baits, the heavy baits, a lot slower if you use big line over grass. And it don't make a lot of difference. This is magna thin line that I'm using, 20-pound test. But what it does is hold it up so it sticks to grass. These fish was staging in 4 and 5 foot pockets. And what they do, they feel this warm water coming out there, they're moving up in there staging, and they'll stay there. These fronts will make them move back out, move back in. You can catch some fish today, come back tomorrow, more fish will stage back in. What I was doing is throwing it in 2 to 3 foot of water, winding the bait real slow, and I did not drop the bait. All I'd done was just slowed to retrieve down until I felt the grass. If I didn't feel it, I just kept sinking it down real slow. Once I touched the grass, a lot of times I'd sort of rip it out of the grass. That's when the fish would hit.
Come on, Guy.
At age 54, Guy Akers Sr. wins his first Bassmaster tournament. In pro bass fishing, age is no handicap. It's called experience. Congratulations, Guy, from all your bassin' buddies. Next week, our Bassmasters TV cameras focus in on the secrets of the pros. We'll learn the winning ways of Denny Brower, his tips on dock fishing, four-time world champion Rick Clunn on bassin strategy, Zell Rowland's topwater tactics, and Fish Fishburne on sight fishing. So join us right here next Sunday for all the action.
Good.
The Bassmasters has been brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Bass Pro Shops, world's largest supplier of premium tackle. Abu Garcia, the world's finest fishing tackle. Berkeley Power Baits, with flavor and scent enhancers so powerful, fish just won't let go. Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Eagle Electronics, successful fishing made simple. Stren Fishing Lines, a fine line between sport and science. The state of Illinois, don't miss it.
Get over there and let's look down.
Bill Lewis Lures, the rattle trap people, 100% made in the USA. Wrangler, the official jeans and shirts of the Bassmaster Tournament Trail. And the Bass Angler Sportsman Society, the world's largest bass fishing organization.
What I'm doing is look for pockets like the area out here. The drag is about 5 foot high, and I'm taking it and running it right over the top of it, trying to slow it down enough to where it'll twist the top of the drag.